Hello, you guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hopefully, everyone has had a blessed Thursday. Welcome to 1720 Finance, and we are in day 7 of our Financial Gratitude Challenge. And I want to thank you guys for rocking with me for a whole week. It has been a whole week that we have been in our Financial Gratitude Challenge for the month of November. We are going strong and we're going to keep this going for 30 days. My goal, my plan, my wish, my prayer. Well, I should start off and say my prayer first and foremost is that God will continue to grant me the space and the opportunity to come live with you all for the next actually 23 days. So far, we have come together for day 7. We kind of sort of missed election day, and I purposely didn't go live on election day, but I did record I pre-recorded a video and uploaded it just because I knew people were probably not or we're going to be more tuned into the TV, the news channels and everything, just because we wanted to see what the results were going to be. So I knew people were out voting late and polls closed, and then people had to get home and then everyone was just watching the results. And so I did not go live that day, but I did pre-record for, I think that was day 5. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was day 5, but it is up. It is out. And if Instagram, I am live on YouTube as well. So if you want to go to 1720 Finance and pull it up, I have the free PDF up there as well. There are actually 2 PDFs for this challenge. There is the basic 30-day gratitude challenge, and then there is a Kingdom Wealth Building PDF that I have as well. And so those go hand in hand with this challenge. We're probably going to start being in the Kingdom Wealth Building PDF next week. I kind of just wanted to coincide and make sure that everything is flowing right, because I am doing this challenge on two social media channels, and so I kind of want to make sure that everything is flowing. And so far, by God's mercy and grace, it has been flowing. But tonight we are going to talk about something great for day 7 of the Gratitude Challenge, the Financial Gratitude Challenge, and that is recognizing God's goodness. And I want to state this by saying, no matter what's going on in the world, despite what's going on in the country, we still have to recognize God's goodness. God gave us, grace and mercy to be able to go out and vote, see the outcome, and then possibly somewhere down the line, we can all start making the necessary changes, because we don't know what the next 4 years is going to be like. So we just need to thank him ahead of time and recognize that something good has to come out of all this. We don't know what, and of course, we're not designed to know the reason behind all of this craziness. But however, I do believe God has a purpose for everything, even in the midst of our storms and challenges. So tonight we are coming from Psalms 107, verse 1. And it is, again, talking about God's, his goodness, his love, and how it endures forever. And so earlier I pulled up Enduring Word, and Enduring Word is what I use. I think I told you guys yesterday. Enduring Word is what I use every day when I want to dive deep. When I'm doing my morning morning meditation and Bible study, I typically use this book. It's the daily devotion for morning and evening, 365 Bible affirmations for women. It is here. I do need to link this to my Amazon shop. But anywho, I use this, and it's basically, 365 days. It gives you a morning and evening or a nighttime scripture with some affirmations and just kind of little short stories that applies to each scripture. I have not been using this for the month because we are using the free PDF, and each day of the PDF, there is a scripture that coincides with that. But however, I still use Enduring Word to break down my scriptures, even something as simple as the scripture that we have for tonight, Psalms 107:1. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. And so simply put, that's just a simple sentence. It's straightforward. We don't have to wonder. We don't have to be confused about it. It simply states what we should do. And as I'm going to break this down, it's still going to be simple. So the first part of the scripture says, give thanks to the Lord. Give thanks. Give thanks to the Lord. First of all, let me start off by saying some of us are going to be going through some turbulent financial challenges probably coming up in the next, year or so, a few months to a year, with all the changes that's going on, proposed tariffs, goods and services going up, possibly coming out of student loan forbearance. So that is something that I have been watching, is what's going to happen with student loan forbearance, because most of us have been in forbearance due to the help of the Biden administration. What is going to come of that? It's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be hard, but I think it's going to be challenging for a lot of us who haven't had to necessarily pay our loans because they have been in forbearance. But we have been taking that money that we would normally pay, and we are going to apply that to our other debts. And so if we have to start paying back student loans, for instance, as an example, that's going to require a lot of us to revamp our debt repayment plan, our debt-free plan, our budgeting plan. It's going to require us to do a all overhaul of our budget, especially if we're trying to pay off debts, as quickly as possible. And so if we're going to throw in, let's just say your student loan is $400 a month. So now we have to know that while we were allocating an extra $400 to a car loan or a credit card loan, we now have to figure out, how are we going to do this? How are we, are we just not going to allocate extra? We're just going to have to pay it to the student loans and just try to figure something out. Either way, I think it's going to require us to get strategic in our financial planning, strategic in the way that we budget our money. It's going to require a lot from us. And so in the midst of this, I still want us to have gratitude. I still want us to show thanks. I still want us to recognize God's goodness in allowing him to give us the time. And I'm going to use those of us who have student loans, to give us the time that we've had in forbearance to be able to use that money to pay other debt. And so we have to recognize that there was some good that came out of it. There was the mercy and grace that God gave us for us being in forbearance. Now, we can only hope and pray that God wills their powers to continue to give us some type of grace and mercy. Somewhere down the line, they can continue the forbearance, or they can find a way to make the payment plans cheaper, or do away with the debts altogether. Like we got to give God, give him thanks, give him praise, and just let him know we thank him for the goodness of just allowing the time for us to be in student loan forbearance. Now, if you were a lucky one who had your loans paid, or you've never been in student loan forbearance, then you may be dealing with something else. You may have something else that is going on, that things are going to be challenging for you as well. But even in the midst of all that, still thank God that you were able to come up with a plan. You were able to get into a budget plan. You were able to pay off the debts. You were able to do, some of the things that you were able to do because of him. If it was not for his goodness, then we might not be as far along as we we have come in our financial journey. You guys give me 1 second. And so I want to say that I personally am going to pray that God still extenuates his goodness to the next administration that's coming in, that somewhere down the line he provides some type of protection for us, that he continues to show favor upon all of us who are in some type of financial situation that we are just trying to get out of. I want to recognize that we owe him a thank you, because we have to give thank you. Even if things don't turn out in our favor, we still need to say thank you to God for his mercy and his goodness. Give me 1 second, you guys. Gotta send a text out. All right, give me 1 second. So I think in the midst of our financial journey, debt-free journey, I just want to say that during this time of gratitude, during this month of November, no matter what you find yourself in your money circumstances, you give thanks to God. You give thanks to God for each and everything that he has given you. Let's see. I'm sorry, you guys. Bear with me. Sorry, you guys. My son is texting me for dinner. I know I am live, but he is texting me for dinner. He is out and he is texting me about dinner. And so please bear with me. I can't edit this out, you guys, because it is live. So unfortunately, I can't edit this out. I don't want that. Yeah. So with that being said, you guys, I just want us again to give thanks, to give gratitude, and bear with me. Okay. Thank you guys. I'm just trying to get my bearings together. He's texting me and I'm going live, but it's live, you guys. It's life. I mean, it is what it is. And so recognizing his goodness in this financial journey is what we're talking about tonight. So with that being said, the second part of this scripture, after we give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, we know this. His love endures forever. And in some instances, some scripture says his mercy is going to endures forever. So again, as I stated before, he gives us mercy, he gives us grace, he allows us to I'm sorry, you guys, bear with me. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you. Okay. And so The second part is his love endures forever. Some scripture says his mercy endures forever. It just depends on what Bible you're reading, who's writing it. I think it all still means essentially the same thing. He grants us mercy because he loves us, and because he loves us, he gives us mercy. He gives us grace. I have said that before. And I don't think with these two scriptures, that we can debunk that there's confusion, that we don't know what this means for us. When it comes to our finances, when it comes to our money, he has been gracious enough. For a lot of us, he's given us mercy. He's given us grace because he knows, I told you, don't get into debt. The Bible warns about debt. It warns about being the borrower and not the lender. It warns about being good stewards of our money. And because some of us have chosen to not be the best stewards of our money, he is giving us grace and mercy. He is showing us love because he's allowing us to correct the issue and not fall back into this type of behavior again. Now, does it say that he is expecting for us to be perfect? Are there going to be times that we're probably going to not always be the best stewards of our money? Yes, there are going to be times that we may still mismanage a dollar or two. I know, for instance, people always say, well, gambling is a sin, this, that, and third is a sin. Well, for some people that like to go to casinos and things like that, that is still a form of mismanaging your money. That is still a form of throwing away, money, especially for a bad habit, if you wind up becoming a person who has a gambling addiction. And so again, he's still allowing you grace to get it right. He's still allowing you grace to make that U-turn. You don't necessarily have to go to that casino. Just like for me, I do enjoy going to the casino. Well, I did used to go to the casino with my mother a lot, but I don't have an addiction. Like, I don't have to go to the casino. I can't even tell you. I think the last time I went on a casino was when I went on a cruise, and that was 2 years ago. I went on a cruise last year and did not go to the casino. And it's not because I just didn't. I was never a big casino person. I usually just only went, with my mom and her friends. So I was never a person that picked up the habit of just going to the casino just for something to do. That was never me. Currently, I feel like my weakness, my financial habit right now is I like to travel a lot. Now, some people may say, well, that's okay. That's not a bad thing, especially if you know me and the things that have gone on in my life the last year. One would say, enjoy it. You deserve it. There has been so much going on in your world that if you wanted a vacation for the next year, absolutely have at it. But then I also have to be cognizant to say that I can't spend all my time away from home. I still have, a 19-year-old in college. I still have bills that I have to pay for. I still, have businesses to run. I still have to work and things like that. So I can't, even though I would love to devote a lot of my time being on a plane in an island, I have to be physically, financially responsible, because at the end of the day, I have a dependent that depends on me, and I have a whole house that I have to continue to take care of until I decide to get rid of it or sell it. But at the end of the day, I feel like my other financial decisions was living a little bit beyond my means. I have since scaled back tremendously. I think the last big purchase that I made that kind of put me over the top was I did purchase my son a car. I do have a car payment. Once that's paid off, I plan on not having a car payment again for as long as I possibly can. The car that I have now, I'm going to try to maintain it so that I don't have to have a car payment for the next few years or so. There is just reasons as to why I don't want to be back in financial debt. And other than my home and student loans, that'll probably be the end of any debts that I will have occurred and paid for. I'm hoping and praying to God that we can do away with these student loans. That seems to be the thing that's on my back that I'm praying to him the hardest about. But however, if it doesn't pan out, then once all of my other debts are paid, then that definitely will free up me to be able to pay more on my student loans to get them paid off, somewhere down the line. But with that being said, I feel like we have to recognize and give thanks to God no matter where we are in our financial journey, be it good or bad, whether we're learning, whether we are at Finance 101, budgeting 101. I always tell people, even give thank you to God if you're just picking up a piece of paper and a pencil for the first time, or a pen, for pencil and paper for the first time in years, and you have to learn how to sit down and budget. Still be thankful for it. Still have gratitude for it, because if it had not been for God, he would not have allowed you the opportunity to say, hey, I need to get my finances in order. I need to do that thing because I can't make it. And for a lot of us, it's not until some folks hit rock bottom that they really have to sit down and figure out their finances. For a lot of us, we are pretty good with our money. Do we make mistakes every now and then? Of course. That is why God gives us the grace and the mercy to be able to make a U-turn and get our finances together. And so with that being said, I'm going to leave you with 3 questions for tonight, as I do with homework. And the first question states, how has God shown his goodness in your life, especially as it relates in your financial journey? I know specifically for me, I personally have seen his goodness, because from where I was a year ago up until now, I have been able to pay off $2,000 worth of debt. I still have I won't say significant, but I still have quite a few, a few dollars to go. But the goodness is he's allowed me to pay off $2,000 in debt. What can you thank him for today that reflects his enduring love for you? He's blessed me with a good job to be able to pay these debts. He's blessed me with additional income to be able to pay these debts off. He just allowed me to pay these debts off. So that's his love for me. The last question for tonight is your action step, your homework, and that is meditate on God's goodness and write a letter of gratitude to him for his faithfulness in your life. That is it, you guys. I am definitely going to do the action step for tonight. I typically do the first 2 questions anyway in the morning, because I have dedicated this whole entire month to just being thankful. When I'm doing my journaling in the morning, everything is just, at this point, it's all thanks for this, thanks for that. Thank you. I have said for the whole month, I'm going to develop a habit this month. For the whole month, I am not going to gripe. I am not going to gripe. I am not going to fuss. I am not going to ask. Just going to say thank you. Just going to say thank you. Just going to simply say thank you. So with that being said, you guys, I am hopping off. Have a blessed Thursday. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place for day 8. Have a good night.
Wow, y'all.